Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The first one is Nick Walker's confirmation that the show he's going to do next year is going to be, one of the shows is going to be Pittsburgh Pro. So Nick Walker is definitely doing the Pittsburgh Pro. As far as the other top name guys, we already know that Martin Fitzwater is doing that show, and I think that's probably going to be it. I don't see Derek, Samson, and Andrew Jack doing it as well, but who knows, maybe they will jump in. As of right now, this is most likely going to be the battle, the rematch actually, Nick Walker versus Martin Fitzwater. What's gonna happen here? That's gonna be very interesting to see, because the last time these guys battled, it was at the New York Pro, and at the time Nick Walker was still a top 3 or at least a top 5 Olympian. He skipped the Mr. Olympia the year before, but it was because of the hamstring injury, and he kinda looked like he could have won that Mr. Olympia, so he was definitely the heavy favorite at this show, and Martin just kinda came out of nowhere. He did a Detroit Pro before this, and then he came here, and he was a surprise of the show. He actually pushed Nick Walker and ended up losing to him by only 1 point, so he almost beat Nick here, but, you know, Nick wasn't at his best at this show, and he wasn't willing to admit that he wasn't at his best. But recently, I forgot to screenshot this, in his Q&A, he actually said, when somebody asked him, can you beat Martin because you almost lost to him at the New York Pro, he said, I was at my worst at the New York Pro, and now he admits it, now he sees it, I guess. So hopefully the next time we see him on stage, he's going to look better than he did here. If you guys remember, the main issue at this show was his midsection control, and maybe you could say that his quads were kind of down in size compared to his upper body, so it's not like he was completely off with conditioning. It wasn't his signature conditioning, he wasn't super sliced, but he had some imbalances, like the midsection looked kind of a little bit too big compared to the rest of his body, and also his quads weren't exactly super sweepy and full and round, so it wasn't Nick at his best, but that doesn't mean that he can come back better. That does not mean that he just missed the peak. Maybe that's what he looks like now. Maybe with age, his physique started to look worse. On the other hand, I think Martin improved from the New York Pro. I think at the Mr. Olympia he was better than he was at the New York Pro. Prague Pro, I think he was slightly off with conditioning, especially the pre-judging, so I would say Mr. Olympia was Martin's best, better than the New York Pro. So Martin improved, and I think he's probably going to improve even more. I'm sure he's going to improve until the Pittsburgh Pro as well. And Nick, like, I don't know how much improvement can he make, because Martin can get bigger. He can get maybe bigger, fuller, maybe a little bit more shredded, I don't know. I mean, he was like 235 at the Mr. Olympia stage, so he can get probably a little bit heavier. And Nick, he doesn't need to get any bigger, so he can't really make progress as far as muscular development. What he can make progress with is posing, mainly midsection control, and hopefully he can bring up his legs. So if you take a look at his legs right here, you can definitely see that sweep, especially that left leg, is really flat. The adductors are absolutely massive, much bigger than Martin's, but the sweep, the vastus lateralis, is just not there. And that's because it's a very short muscle in his case. The insertion is very high, and it's just a small muscle compared to the rest of his body, like insertions-wise. So it's not like he can do much to bring it up. What he can do is bring up the other parts of his leg, like his hamstrings, like his adductors, maybe vastus medialis, maybe rectus femoris. But as far as vastus lateralis, the sweep, I'm not sure how much progress can he actually make. However, he did post this photo today, in which, to be honest guys, his legs look bigger than ever. I don't think I saw him with bigger and fuller legs ever before. I mean, it could be just the lighting, the angle, the way he's posing, and a really good pump, and yeah, I can definitely see that happening for sure. But we already saw Nick trying to make his legs look bigger than they are, like we saw all kinds of photos and videos and so on, but honestly, his legs never looked this big. I think I'm seeing an improvement in the sweep. Again, his legs are very short, and so is the muscle insertion of the outer sweep. But still, still, I think his legs are starting to get a little bit of a sweep, more of a roundness. I mean, again, it could be just all those factors that I just mentioned, and maybe as he diets down, he's going to lose the sweep, the fullness, but I don't know. I think he definitely made some progress. So I think this is going to be a very good version of Nick Walker, improved, for sure, in that regard, the legs, and hopefully he's going to control his midsection in a proper way. With all that being said, I mean, who's going to win this battle? It's going to be tough. It's going to be a very interesting rematch. Personally, even though Martin is a hostile athlete, I personally think Nick is just a little bit too much. I think Nick is a potential top 2, top 3 Mr. Olympia the way he is. Again, if he controls the midsection and if he improved the legs. I think he did, and I think he will control the midsection. So, personally, right now, I do have Nick beating Martin still. I'm pretty sure that's going to be an unpopular opinion. I think Martin has more fans than Nick right now, for sure, because Nick skipped 2 Mr. Olympias and he has a lot of haters because of that now. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like that. That's the way I see it, guys. If you think Martin is going to beat Nick, you feel free to tell me down below. Whatever you think, whatever is in your mind, comment down below. Tell me. Personally, I think Nick is going to show something special this year at a Pittsburgh Pro, and I think he's going to win it and qualify for the Mr. Olympia. And then at the Mr. Olympia, I can see him placing as high as top 3. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Alright, the next thing we got is Urs Kalecinski with a physique update in his off-season. So he's not doing the Arnold Classic this year. For some reason, he's skipping it after a couple of years of doing it consistently. I don't know which shows he has in plan, but as far as taking this photo with Hani Rambod here, no, this does not mean that Hani is coaching him now. Actually, Seth Ferosi said something about this on Fuad's podcast. He basically said that Hani still wants bodybuilders to visit him in his gym. He wants to train them, he wants to spend time with them, he wants to be connected with the guys and everything. He just doesn't want to coach any top-level bodybuilders as of right now. That may change, we never know, but as of right now, he's retired from that. So no, he's not coaching Urs Kalecinski. Urs is still coached by Stefan Kinsel. I don't know for how long, because Stefan has way too many clients right now. I don't know how will he be able to, devote his time and attention to all of them. So I'm sure he's going to lose a couple of them. Maybe Urs is one of them, but he's not going to go with Hani Rambod. Maybe at some point in the future if Hani starts coaching again, but as of right now, no. Now I'm looking at this photo of Urs and, man, yeah, he is definitely looking massive. And looking at those arms especially the right arm right there, if you pay attention to the bicep and the tricep as well, like, his arms definitely came up. Like, his arms were a really weak point, and I'm sure they are still. Like, his arms are never going to be the strongest point, because he also has very short insertions, stuff like that, but, like, those arms definitely improved. They definitely got bigger. And I don't know how this guy manages to do this. I mean, he has a weight cap. He had it for a couple of years. He was like right there at the top of the class, and he still makes progress. He was definitely bigger than ever at this year's Mr. Olympia than before. So he's still able to make progress. I think the arms are progressing. I think the back as well came up, especially at the Mr. Olympia. So I don't know how does he do it, how he stays within the weight cap and still makes so much progress. It's weird, it's strange, but yeah, it's definitely happening. I guess maybe it's like muscle maturity, maybe he's getting in better condition, and actually that way he's able to put on more muscle so he can like lose more when he diets down. I don't know, but he's definitely making progress. He's definitely looking bigger. Now, as far as the guest posing he did, I'm sure you guys saw it with the Dragon Ball team. He's basically playing Goku. I was watching this, and honestly, I'm sure all of you will feel otherwise, but I thought it was, like, kind of cringy. Like, I appreciate all the work he put into this, and, like, the entertaining aspect, but I don't know, man. I'm not into this kind of stuff. Like, I competed recently as a classic physique competitor, and, like, I realize how much work I need to do as far as posing, classic posing, like, practicing the classic transitions, perfecting the posing routine, stuff like that. And honestly, guys, I hate doing that. I'm gonna have to do it for my next show because that's what is required. But I don't like it. I'm not a fan of posing and like dancing or whatever. And he used to be a dancer, break dancer, right? So he has this background and he likes to do this stuff. He likes to perform. But I'm also thinking like he is not an open bodybuilder. Like what is he gonna show in his off season? Like I understand if Samson Dowd is guest posing, weighing 340 pounds, even if he's not in condition, he's showing a crazy amount of muscle mass. But a classic guy doing a guest posing, I don't know, man. Like nothing super impressive to see here. But I guess the team and like his posing was entertaining with his Dragon Ball team. I mean, I don't know, guys. Maybe you find it more entertaining than me. Personally, I mean, his conditioning is great for the off season, but it's not like he's not super crispy. He's not showing some kind of crazy level of conditioning, which can be impressive if you're watching classic physique. You can see some crazy conditioning there, and that's also entertaining to see in the open. You can see size. You can see open guys guest posing when they're super massive. That's entertaining. But for me personally, seeing a classic guy in his off season, I don't know. I don't see the point of it, and like the whole entertaining aspect, doing this Dragon Ball team and stuff like that. Look at this. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just not into this. I find it very cringy, but maybe you guys feel otherwise. Maybe you would enjoy to watch this in person and you would be hyped up and you would love it. I don't know. Whatever you think, you can tell me down below. That's just my personal take. But yeah, as far as his physique, he's definitely looking massive. Could he do open bodybuilding like Chris Bumstead and do well? I don't think so. I don't think he's that big, that good. But if he took a couple of years off to put on more muscle, then yeah, sure, I can see him in the open, but like not necessarily placing like top 10 at the Mr. Olympia, but maybe winning a smaller pro show, and that's about it. Like with those arms, I don't see him as a really good open bodybuilder, but who knows, maybe he's actually holding back a lot, and if he just tried to grow as much as possible, he would be like 300 pounds on stage shredded. So, I don't know. I don't think that could be the case. I think he's definitely meant for the classic. But whatever you guys think, feel free to tell me down below in the comment section. Alright, and finally, we got a new physique update from Blessing Avodibu. So he took some time off, he did an off season, he bulked up, and it's arguable whether he went too far or not. That's what the top comment here says. But I don't know, guys. I mean, yeah, he gained some body fat, but I think that's good. It's not that much. Like, look at his midsection. Like, maybe you can see some fat in his thighs, but really, that's not a lot of fat. It's mainly water. He looks a little bit fluffy. I wouldn't say he looks fat. He did go a little bit hard, a little bit too hard maybe, but I think it's needed, especially for his legs. That's the area he needs to improve on, just like Nick Walker, especially from the front, the quads. And I know he has some knee issues, stuff like that, or something like that, some kind of an injury in the legs, and that's why he's not really able to train them super hard. But like with bulking so hard, eating so many calories in the surplus, and like trying to grow, doing everything you can, I'm sure he's going to be making some progress. I don't think he's going to be looking the same. If he was super lean in that offseason, then I would be worried definitely more than what I'm seeing right here. Like this is actually, like, it's not super nice. It's not polished. It's not done yet. He's not in condition. But he still decided to show us what he looks like in the off-season before he starts cutting. And as he says now, he's going to start shredding the fat off. So he's going to get lean. And I think he's going to look better than ever once he gets leaner. And if you're comparing this to his competition shape, like, it's not even comparable. I mean, of course, his waist is definitely a lot smaller once he's in condition. This comparison right here is not accurate. Like, this is not the right proportion size-wise. He's definitely bigger when he's more shredded. Like here, he looks much smaller because the angle of the photo is different. But you can get the idea. Like, yeah, sure, he got a little bit too chubby, but he's trying to force the growth as much as possible. Now, as far as the legs, like, did he really make progress in the legs? I mean, we'll see once he cuts down, but honestly, like, I don't see a crazy progression. I don't see any crazy big massive gains. to me it seems like his legs are looking pretty much the same. But again, he did a bulk, he definitely gained overall weight, and I'm sure some of that weight is on his legs, and it's going to stick. So once he actually gets shredded, I think we're going to see a progress, but it's very hard to notice it right now with so much, mainly water and, of course, a layer of fat that is covering the legs. So in his case, he needs to get them super shredded to actually see how much progress he made, but I believe it's going to be somewhat of a progress. Maybe not as much as I would like to see, but still I think he's going to be bigger in the leg department, and overall, I think he's going to be improved and better and bigger. Whatever you guys think though, tell me down below in the comment section. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, guys, stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon, all the best, and bye-bye.